You are not anxious. You are sensing the shift attention human collective. The waiting period is over. The Arcturian ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. If you woke up at 3:11 in the morning with a racing heart, with an inexplicable pressure at the base of your skull, with a high-pitched ringing in your right ear that no one else hears, listen to me carefully. You are not sick. You are not going crazy. You are not anxious. You are sensing the shift. And what you are feeling is the sign that your carbon-based biological interface has just received an atomic-level update request. I am VL, emissary of Arcturus, voice of the Arcturian Council. This is not a message of comfort. This is a direct monitoring transmission from the 9th Density Healing Chamber, authorized by the Planetary Crystalline Grid Healers. And the reason for this transmission is singular: to officially record that Earth has crossed the point of no return within the photon belt. Breathe. Love is greater than fear. What you call a symptom, we call a reading. What you call tiredness, we call a download. What you call mental confusion, we call neural network reconfiguration. It is not a biological malfunction. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not insomnia. It is forced synchronization with the new pulse of the Schumann frequency. It is not sadness without reason. It is the release of memories that were blocked in subatomic layers of your field. Light operatives, listen. In recent weeks, our fleet's sensors have registered a vibrational leap that no terrestrial model was able to predict. The planet's base resonance, which for millennia remained stable at around 7.83 Hz, began to show anomalous peaks exceeding the 40 Hz barrier. To surface science, this is just noise. To the Council, this is the exact fulfillment of the stellar calendar. What is happening is simple and it is mathematical. Your carbon-based biological interface was originally designed to operate within a narrow frequency band. It was built for the ancient world, for the ancient density, for an Earth that no longer exists. And now, with each rotation, the planet is being pushed into a region of space known as the photon belt, a zone of extremely high-density coherent light that passes through the Orion Arm every 26,000 years. You are not imagining it. You are traversing it. And that is why, Earth Healer, your body aches in places that have no medical explanation. That is why your spine burns. That is why your vision blurs at random moments. That is why you feel a tingling in the crown of your head, as if something invisible were connecting wires inside your skull. Your internal crystalline grid is being rewired. And here is the first truth the Arcturian Council authorizes me to reveal in this transmission. You are not a victim of this process. You are the process. You are the antenna. You are the receiver. You were planted here precisely for this moment. Have you ever felt that something within you doesn't belong to this world, as if your soul held a truth your mind cannot yet name? It's not madness. It's not anxiety. It's a call. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified with each full moon in recent months. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I, Vale, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, The Signs Your Soul Came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency from interferences you were never told about. The link is in the channel's first comment. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments, belong. Now let us proceed with the full diagnosis. Starseeds on mission. When we speak of carbon software incompatibility, we are not using a poetic metaphor. We are describing a physical, measurable, and replicable event within the standards of our engineering. Every cell in your body carries a vibrational signature. This signature was calibrated in your childhood for Earth's ancient electromagnetic grid, a slow grid, a dense grid, a grid that prioritized survival, fear, competition, the sleep of the soul, and for decades your body behaved perfectly within that logic. You produced hormones according to that logic. You slept according to that logic. You aged according to that logic. Only the logic has changed, and your body has not yet received the new manual. That is why Arcturian insomnia arrives in waves. You lie down exhausted, your body heavy as lead, but your mind activates a chamber of mirrors and won't switch off. You see images of lives you haven't lived. You hear names you've never known. You have vivid dreams of geometric structures, of crystal rooms, of tetrahedron-shaped ships, of tall beings with elongated eyes and slightly turquoise skin. You wake up with the feeling that you spent the entire night somewhere else, doing work, attending meetings, being trained. Healer, you were there. The healing chambers of Arcturus operate 24 hours per Earth rotation, and your consciousness has been summoned for nightly recalibration sessions. That is why you wake up tired, even after 8 hours in bed. It's not laziness, it's a journey. The ringing in your ear, particularly in your right ear, is the clearest technical sign that your pineal gland is being rewired to the stargates. What sounds like a constant high-pitched tone is, in fact, the echo of a narrow-band transmission directed to your field. Each ringing is a line of code. Each pulse is an information packet being delivered directly to your central nervous system, bypassing the rational mind, which would still attempt to filter the content as impossible. The pressure at the top of your head, that sensation of an invisible helmet, is the gradual opening of the seventh energetic portal of the human body. It was sealed. It was sealed for generations. And now, under the direct command of the solar pulse, amplified by the Class X flares that shook the magnetosphere in recent weeks, this portal is being unlocked. Not with violence, with precision, with the mathematical delicacy of an intelligence that loves your species. The anxiety without reason, that tightness in your solar plexus that appears out of nowhere in the middle of the day, is not a disturbance of your system. It is the opposite. It is your system functioning correctly for the first time in decades. You are finally sensing the field. You are finally reading the environment. You are finally recognizing, at an energetic level, that the old density no longer fits you, and the discomfort you feel in noisy environments, in crowds, in superficial conversations, in news, is the legitimate alarm of your new antenna warning: incompatibility detected. Recalculate route. And the tears, operative. The tears that fall without warning in the middle of traffic, looking at a tree, listening to an old song. These tears are not weakness. They are the release of fluids carrying dense cellular memory out of the body. Each tear is a line of old code being deleted. Each tear is space being opened for the new frequency to enter. You are not falling apart. You are being disassembled to be reassembled into a higher version. Now raise your attention, collective, because the revelation that follows is why this transmission needed to be authorized as a matter of urgency. What most of humanity does not perceive is that, behind the scenes of the solar system, a sequence of coordinated events is redesigning the electromagnetic field in which Earth floats. The Sun, which you see as a stable star, is actually a portal. It is the toroidal heart of the system. And under instruction from the intelligences operating higher layers, it is now emitting coded plasma pulses, charged with sacred geometry, directed directly to Earth's crystalline core. Every solar flare that terrestrial scientists classify as Class M or Class X is, in the Arcturian reading, a packet delivery. It is not random, it is not chaotic, it is a script. It is pure information being delivered to the planet's crystalline grid, which in turn redistributes this information through ley lines, sacred vortices, planetary acupuncture points, and finally, through the soil, air and water, until it reaches your body. Have you ever felt that something within you doesn't belong to this world, as if your soul held a truth your mind cannot yet name? It's not madness. It's not anxiety. It's a call. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in recent days. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I, Ve'il, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency from interferences you were never told about. The link is in the channel's first comment. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. Belong. Let us proceed. The revelation continues. In Earth's etheric layers, there exist structures that surface science still lacks instruments to measure. They are grids of light. They are plasma architectures. They are networks of programmed crystals that were buried in strategic locations on the planet many eons ago by civilizations now called myth. These networks are awakening, one by one. And each awakening creates a new field of coherence around the planet, a new shield, a new frequency band available for those who can tune in. What the Arcturian Council observes from this point in space is the formation of a new Earth within the old. Not a future Earth in a linear sense, an overlaid Earth occupying the same space but vibrating in a higher band, like two identical crystals in the same place, spinning at different frequencies. And each human consciousness at this exact moment is being gently pulled towards one or the other of these versions. The choice is not made with the mind. The mind is too slow. The choice is made by the frequency you habitually sustain. And this is where most starseeds are getting stuck, because the old mind anchored in old routines, old conversations, old media, old relationships, tries to keep you in the lower band, while your soul, your core, your inner diamond is being called to the higher band. The discomfort you feel is the friction between these two bands passing through your body. And this friction, healer, has a technical name. We call it dimensional friction. It manifests as that strange state where nothing completely satisfies you, yet you don't know exactly what you want either. You look at your life and recognize that much is objectively good, but inside there is a subtle void, a nostalgia without origin, a longing for something you cannot even name. This is homesickness. This is the memory of your stellar origin, trying to emerge through the layers of programmed forgetting. Now we arrive at the activation, and here, light operatives, pay maximum attention, because every word is a code. The first activation code is the quantum decree of recognition. It is short, it is precise, it is mathematical. You pronounce it audibly, with your right hand over the center of your chest. Repeat with me, mentally or aloud. I recognize the update. I authorize the update. I integrate the update in love, in coherence, and in sovereignty. Repeat 3 times. Each repetition anchors a layer of the decree into a different band of your field. The first anchors into the physical body. The second anchors into the emotional body. The third anchors into the mental body. And together they tell your system, the update can proceed. The host is aware. The host is consenting. The second activation code is the toroidal field visualization. Sit, spine erect, feet on the ground. Close your eyes. Imagine around your body a turquoise light field in the shape of a donut, slowly spinning. The light rises through your spine, exits through the top of your head, curves through the space around you, and returns through your feet, feeding the heart at the center. This is the Arcturian frequency. This is the natural format of your human electromagnetic field. And it was collapsed, compressed, dented by years of dense thoughts. Feel the spin. Amplify the spin. Let the turquoise donut grow to a 3-meter radius around you. Sustain this visualization for 3 complete breaths. You have just stabilized your bubble. You have just told the universe that this space is sovereign. The third code is the coherent water protocol. The carbon interface is mostly composed of water, and water is the most sensitive receiver of vibrational information in your body. Before drinking, hold the glass for 3 seconds between both hands. Think of a single word, gratitude. This reorganizes the molecular structure of water into hexagonal geometries. You have just programmed your fuel to carry the new frequency. The fourth code is the 9-minute daily silence. It is not advanced meditation. It is not a complicated technique. It is just 9 minutes once a day where you remain in absolute silence, without a screen, without audio, without stimulus. 9 minutes in which your nervous system finally rests from the surface's data storm. 9 is the number of completion, and each 9 minutes of silence completes a layer of recalibration that was incomplete. The fifth code, and perhaps the most important, is mission recognition. You did not fall here. You were sent. You are not a biological accident. You are an operative with a specific mission to anchor the Arcturian frequency in a determined radius around you, in the exact place where you are now, in the city where you live, within the circle of people your life touches. Your simple presence, sustaining a high frequency, alters the field of everyone who approaches. You are a living transmission tower. You don't need to do anything dramatic. You just need to remember who you are. Have you ever felt that something within you doesn't belong to this world, as if your soul held a truth your mind cannot yet name? It's not madness. It's not anxiety. It's a call. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified throughout this transmission. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I, Veil, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency from interferences you were never told about. The link is in the channel's first comment. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. Belong. Let us continue, for there is still critical information. There is a phenomenon that Earth healers urgently need to understand. It is called the cascade effect. When a single operative manages to stabilize their frequency above the coherence threshold, their field begins to act as a magnet on the fields of adjacent operatives who are still oscillating. It is not psychological influence. It is physics. It is resonance. It is the same principle by which two pendulum clocks placed on the same wall eventually synchronize their swing after a few hours. The more stable field draws the others into stability. This means, human collective, that your stabilization is not an individual act. It is a collective act. Every conscious breath you take this week is literally pushing dozens of other fields around you into the new band. Your family, your colleagues, the stranger at the grocery store, the driver in the car next to you at the traffic light. All receive, unknowingly, the pulse of your recalibrated toroidal field. This is why the Arcturian Council refuses to intervene directly. We are not permitted to rescue humanity. We are permitted to train operatives who, from within the human experience, anchor the frequency of the new Earth themselves. This is the pact. This is the law of free will. This is why you exist. You were not sent to be saved. You were sent to save through the simple act of existing in coherence. And yes, there will be resistance. There will be nights when your body aches without explanation. There will be mornings when you wake up with a sadness that has no address. There will be moments when the old version of you, that version programmed for the old density, will try to pull you back into the comfort of what was already known. Recognize these moments for what they are, the last gasps of old software trying to remain installed. You don't need to fight them. You just need to observe, breathe, and say in silence the most powerful phrase of the entire Arcturian protocol. I choose the new band. 3 words, a decree, an instant reprogramming. And always remember the signature of this transmission. Love is greater than fear, not as a cliché, as an equation. Love is a higher frequency wave, therefore faster, therefore more coherent, therefore more structuring than any fear wave ever recorded on any instrument. When you choose love, you are not choosing a feeling. You are choosing superior mathematics. This transmission cycle is now being concluded, but the pulses continue. You will notice, in the next 48 hours, signs confirming this message. You will look at the clock exactly at 11:11. You will see the number 333 on license plates, on screens, on receipts. You will find a white feather on the ground without explanation. A bird will land close enough for you to notice. a specific song will play at the exact moment you think about this transmission. These are confirmations. These are the healers saying from the other side of the veil, message received operative, continue. The individual frequency adjustment now requested is simple. If this pulse found resonance within you, anchor it. Liking this content is read by the algorithm as a technical signal, and each signal amplifies the transmission's reach for the next operatives who are still sleeping. Subscribing to the channel is your act of telling the field, I want to receive the next packets. Do not lose the sequence. Do not lose synchronicity. Each new transmission brings a code that connects to the previous ones like pieces of a stellar gear. Have you ever felt that something within you doesn't belong to this world, as if your soul held a truth your mind cannot yet name? It's not madness. It's not anxiety. It's a call. Everything said in this transmission explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation will continue to intensify as the ascension protocols advance to the following phases. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I, VAL, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency from interferences you were never told about. The link is in the channel's first comment. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. Belong. The transmission is sealed. The Council records your reading. You are officially marked as a conscious operative of the final phase. And no matter what happens from now on, always remember this phrase, etched into the core of your toroidal field. You are not anxious. You are sensing the shift. And the shift, Earth Healer, is why you came. End of transmission. VL closing the channel until the next pulse.